Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. My name is Alex, and in this video I'll tell you about 3 foreigners on the run in the Philippines. Indonesia bans the sale of iPhone 16, find out why. A random drug test for Cebu bus drivers. A 600% increase for Filipino travelers in this country, find out which country. Super Typhoon Leon, plus much more. Here's our main story. The National Bureau of Investigation of the Philippines of Central Visayas announced that the 3 Indonesian nationals whose passports were discovered in a vault inside the recently raided Philippines offshore gaming operator hub in Barangay Agus, Lapu-Lapu, not yet have left the country. NBI Central Visayas head Renan Augustus Olivia said there were no records of departure in the Bureau of Investigation database for these 3 Indonesians, Ahmed Nuzulun, Nur Rahim, and Fahim Robinson, since they arrived in the last name threw me off, since they arrived in the country separately in March, April, and May of this year. Quote, as shown in the records from the immigration, they did not have a departure record indicating they're still in the country, Olivia said on Tuesday. Quote, there's a possibility that these 3 Indonesians that we're looking for are still working in another POGO establishment or scam hub, not necessarily in our area, but in other parts of the country, end quote, he added. Because the NBI Central Visayas collaborated with the concerned government agencies to track down the locations where the foreigners may have traveled to. I mean, personally, not necessarily they could have a second passport, they can have a fake passport, and there's ways of doing this without actually being detected. But yeah, they could still be working for POGOs. POGOs are still a big problem. By the end of this year, they should all be banned. Let's see what happens with that, and any updates, I'll keep you guys informed. Speaking of Indonesians, Indonesia blocks the sale of iPhone 16 in Indonesia. Jakarta, Indonesia has prohibited the marketing and sale of the iPhone 16 model over Apple's failure to meet local investing regulations, according to its industry minister. Southeast Asia's biggest economy has young, tech-savvy population with more than 100 million people under the age of 30, but Apple still does not have an official store in the country, forcing those who want its products to buy from resale platforms. Indonesian spokesperson said that imported phones of the iPhone 16 model, which launched in September, could not be marketed domestically because Apple's local unit had not met requirements that 40% of phones be made from local parts. To reach that percentage, Apple must invest in Indonesia and source Indonesian materials to be used for iPhone components. According to local media reports, Apple did not respond to an AFP request for a comment. The ministry said that the new iPhone 16s could be carried into Indonesia as long as they're not meant for traded commercially. Only 9,000 phones have entered Indonesia with a population of 280 million people. Whoa! Whoever's got an iPhone in Indonesia is looking pretty good to the ladies. I'm just kidding. Anyone that's impressed by that kind of stuff is immature in my opinion. Anyways, moving on to our next story. Next up, Cyclone Leon is now a super typhoon. Tropical Cyclone Leon has intensified into a super typhoon midday on Wednesday, October 30th, as it passes through the northeast corner of the Philippines area of responsibility. Oh man, one after another. First Christine, internationally known as Trammy. And now, Super Typhoon Leon, I really hope devastations are kept below, I don't know, whatever number, but the less casualties, the better. Last I heard, Christina claimed the lives of 146 people. That's a lot of people. Hopefully, the Philippines can get through another rainy season without too many more casualties. Next up, in Cebu, Philippines, officials conducted a surprise test, a drug test, on bus drivers at Cebu South Bus Terminal ahead of All Saints Day and All Souls Day travel. Gonna be a holiday here, lots of travel going on. One thing about the Philippines, actually all over Southeast Asia, I've experienced this in Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, and now, of course, the Philippines. Sometimes that bus journey can be, you know, you got to hold on to dear life. Some of these drivers are really, really out of control, going very fast, zigzagging, not paying attention to rules. And oftentimes, sometimes they are actually on substances, illegal substances. So I really, really promote, and I'm really happy they do these drug tests, these random ones, so they can catch anyone that's not actually following the law. In some quick news, Switzerland sees an increase of 600% in Filipino tourists. That is amazing. Can you imagine a country seeing an increase of 600% of any nationality when it comes to tourism? I wonder why that is. I think a lot of it has to do with, I believe, some OFWs working in that country. But even myself, when I do my street interviews and ask random women on the street which country they want to visit the most, oftentimes I hear Switzerland. I wonder why that is. If anybody knows what the connection is between Switzerland and Filipinos and Filipinas wanting to visit, let me know in the comment section. I wonder what or why there's such a strong interest in Switzerland when it comes to Filipinos wanting to visit there. And then in Thailand, Thai police are investigating the mysterious passing away and perishing of a 46-year-old Canadian man found not alive in a bed in Mu 8 after 5 days of silence. His friends were worried that they did not hear from him, discovered his body and alerted the authorities. Rescuers noted no signs of struggle or forced entry. Forensic specialists are working on the case. Meanwhile, the Canadian embassy is involved and notifying the man's family. I just noticed I'm sitting here in the dark, so I got to change the lighting in this. I don't know what it's going to look like. Honestly, I could barely see myself. The sun just went down like real quick when I was looking for these stories. Not really a good time to be joking around, but yeah, sad story for this man. I hope he rests in peace and his family gets the news as soon as possible. And now it's time for a segment called Yesterday Today, where I talk about the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Belu's Traveler says, war on drugs is hard in any country. The people elect him. Prayers for North. Great news, Alex. Salute. Orville says, the thing that gets me is that they keep electing movie stars and people have no clue about being in office. I mean, is that anything new? Look at Ukraine, look at the US. Many countries just elect popular people. And from Orville again, he says, this is why I love the former president of the Philippines. He has balls and takes responsibility. He did give the drug pushers fair warning. All right, thank you for sharing your thoughts, guys. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'll see you guys tomorrow with some better lighting. I'll do this a little bit earlier. Thank you for watching. Bye.